is wrong. Welcome to the world, baby girl, I'll paint you pink if that's okay. We'll encourage self-destruction through the music that you play. We divided all the men by trying politics and race, and honestly, it's working awesome, so for you, we'll do the same. Never teaching you to love yourself, inject you full of hate. Objectify your sexuality, then blame you for the rape. And weaponize the differences that make our men and women great. Then just to screw with you, erase the genders, everyone's the same. We'll empower you with rights to vote and fight for equal pay. Then have the men turn into women and you'll fight for them again. But you thought you had it figured out, but everything has changed. Welcome to the system. Please enjoy your stay. Here's a Bible and a bottle of the cheapest booze we make. Find a man who can take care of you to fill the holes we made. Buy a house and settle down, fulfill your duty, procreate, and make a couple babies who will also...
In the United States, massive emergency alert test is going to sound alarms on U.S. cell phones. This is a test, but according to USA Today, it's going to be a very big test, okay? This is going to be everybody's cell phone across the United States. We've seen them do this in Hawaii. We've seen them do this in South Korea with their recent civil defense drill. We've seen that the senators have all gotten 50 satellite phones. We see the current geopolitical environment and how tense it is and how close we are to nuclear Armageddon. And they're sending us these signals right now. Now they're going to do a nationwide emergency alert test. I mean, the writing is on the wall. They're telegraphing what could potentially happen for anybody who has just a modicum of sense in order to pick up on these signals. Now, this is something they have done before, I should say, but I think in the current environment, it's a lot more meaningful. And I would hope that in the run-up to this, they're going to widely publicize it so to manage panic, because, you know, a lot of people are going to get this emergency alert and they're going to think that this is doomsday, even if they say it's just a test. The actual test is going to read something like this. This is a nationwide test of the emergency alert system issued by Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, covering the United States from 1420 to 1450 Eastern Standard Time. This is only a test. No action is required by the public, okay? So on Wednesday, October 4th, the test is planned of the entire nation's emergency alert system, a tryout to ensure everything is working correctly in the event of a big national disaster or attack. So what happens after they alert you, do you think? There's an emergency. Go to the bunkers. Oh yeah, we don't have any bunkers. Go to your local emergency shelter. Oh yeah, there is no emergency shelter. Go home, hide under the bed, duck and cover under the desk, and kiss your ass goodbye. That's basically what it amounts to. So understand, with the New York PSA, I mean, they basically telegraph what the guidance that they're going to provide you. The extent of it is going to be, go inside, stay inside, and wait for us to tell you what to do. Please don't riot. Please don't make fires in your homes. Please don't go out into the streets and rob the food trucks. We are going to make sure that you're all taken care of, okay? But the government is incapable. They're just physically incapable. They don't have the logistics, and they don't have the effective decision-making skills. I was on a fellow YouTuber's channel the other day, and he was explaining how when the Maui fires happened, the fire chief was tasked with potentially sounding the alarm. But typically this alarm for the better part of that population was associated with tsunamis. So he was worried if he would sound the alarm, because this is the procedure, this is the protocol, if he sounds the alarm, people are going to potentially run inland in the direction of the fire, thinking that there was a tsunami. So it's what, 2, 3 in the morning, the fire is coming through, and you wake up and you hear a tsunami alarm. So he didn't sound the alarm because he was worried that people would be running towards the fire. Now, most people in hindsight said, well, it would be common sense that if you could smell smoke and you could see that there was a fire burning, you would make the decision that, okay, the alarm is not for a tsunami, but it's for a wildfire, and you would run in the opposite direction, hopefully towards the water, right? But this is one of the limitations of these various protocols we're seeing. When we're seeing these unprecedented events, the government doesn't have a recipe to follow. They don't have a protocol to follow for these unique situations. They don't have a protocol to follow even for the situations we've known about since the Cold War, because a lot of those fallout shelters, a lot of those plans are so dated, they're not amendable to our current technological environment, and I don't think that they're prepared at all if, you know, the worst case scenario actually unfolded, which is all the more reason why you absolutely have to take responsibility for yourself. These people cannot manage a disaster on the scale of a city that is around the size of 200,000 people. They couldn't manage that. The entirety of the U.S. military could not manage that. Now, they could, but it won't be their priority, right? Because our priorities lie elsewhere, apparently. Apparently, there's things more important to the national interest and security than actually caring for decisions in citizens in times of emergency. So instead, we're more concerned with fighting wars and whatnot, as opposed to helping people get through very adverse circumstances. So in the wake of horrific fires on Maui Island on August 8th, when warning sirens that might have alerted people to the danger weren't deployed, it's a reminder of what systems are in place should they be needed. They recently did this as well in the UK. And I'm hoping that people start to take the hint as to what's going on here. But in watching TikTok, I'm not holding my breath. In looking at the trending page on YouTube, I'm thinking not. I'm thinking that 99% of people aren't going to get the message. They're not going to be able to read the subtext of what the government is saying when they run these tests, especially nowadays. It should go without saying exactly what they're signaling is that, you know, these things have a high likelihood of happening right now, and you should be prepared. I mean, take a look around. This is absolutely abnormal. But no matter how abnormal it is, it seems like people acclimate, people acquiesce, and then it just becomes normalcy bias all over again. So anyways, all the more reason to make sure you have a plan, folks. I got to get going because, quite frankly, I can't stand this smoke anymore.
Tomorrow, October 4th, will be a huge emergency alert test. What does this mean? Let's be real. Nobody really knows what is happening or what it means. The warning will be sent out to televisions, cell phones, radios, but some older phones may not be compatible. This is to be able to inform people when national disasters happen, to essentially check if the systems are working properly or how they can make them better. Now, there are a lot of conspiracies on this. I don't know whether they're true or not. All I know is I believe in vibrations. I believe in frequencies. For me and in my home, we are going to turn everything off. I'm going to put it on airplane mode first. I'm going to turn everything off, leave it outside, leave it somewhere else, and keep it off for the whole duration of the time. Some people are actually wrapping their phones in an aluminum foil and they're saying that it's working. I'm not sure. Give it a try. Anything where the government is concerned, where it kind of seems like they're trying to help us, I'm good. Let me know what you guys think, and I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Oh, needs a captain. Look,
We interrupt Mitch Judge for an emergency broadcast.
Only your phone, but your TV, your computer, your radio, anything that receives a signal will be going off tomorrow. This is across the entire United States.
We will initiate the test message that goes to cellular phones. That will cause phones to ring, very similar to if you have ever received a flash flood or an Amber Alert that also came through the same system. That's the wireless emergency alert system. So the phones will, they buzz very loudly. They sound very similar. The sound that comes out is very similar to what you're used to hearing on the emergency alert system at the beginning of alerts that are broadcast on radio and television. The message, the text of the message will display right on the home screen or on the middle of the screen of the cell phone. At the top of that, there will be a banner that will say Presidential Alert. That's the category of the type of alert that we're allowed to send nationwide. And then the text of the message will say test. This is only a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System, and no action is needed. There was concern that Americans weren't necessarily watching radio and TV, especially in the evenings maybe. The new technology of the cellular phones was just coming online, and it was suggested that we figure out a way to be also be able to send alerts to cellular phones and all other devices as they come online.